Hello everybody and welcome to Dan Tiamas Gaming and Tech News Update episode 15, and today is about Intel CPUs and their iGpu's. So on the 13th of December at Architecture Day, Intel basically released that they were bringing out the 10nm chipset next year. They have started back up the process, they've gone back to the drawing board to see where they went wrong and see if they can produce this, and after all the controversy over the last couple of months of it being dead, it's actually very much alive. We haven't seen anything new from Intel since sort of 2015 when they brought out Skylake. We have had Kaby Lake, but that was just Skylake and a bit faster. They then brought out Coffee Lake, which was basically Kaby Lake with a few cores and a bit faster, and then they brought out the Coffee Lake Refresh, which was basically Coffee Lake with a few cores and a little bit faster. So basically continuing just to add steroids to Skylake. However, we have now been introduced to Sunny Cove, and this is the code name for their CPU, or architecture, sorry, not the CPU. And this is going to be a clean slate for Intel. So if you look at the way AMD have done things, they brought out Zen, and that was a clean slate compared to their Stars, or even a larger extent their Bulldozer series. This is a clean slate for Intel since the Nephilim era of CPU cores. Or the core series, should we say. So yeah, like I said, Intel following in AMD's footstep, basically like AMD did with Zen, and this basically gives Intel the ability to introduce significant gains compared to the previous Skylake architecture, which remained just pretty flat. So if we have a look at Skylake Gen and the Sunny Cove architecture, we are pretty much seeing the same thing. However, Sunny Cove has been sort of tweaked and upgraded and had a few more fancier things put onto it to make it a new architecture. Unlike Skylake and all the CPUs under it, Sunny Cove, as I said, is the codename architecture / core design and not the name of the CPUs that are going to be coming forward, a bit like AMD with Zen. If we use Skylake basically as a base point or a reference, you're going to have the architecture, which would be Skylake, and then under it you would have the CPUs based on Skylake, so you would have like Coffee Lake, Kaby Lake, and sort of Coffee Lake 2. Obviously not in that order, it's probably Kaby Lake, Coffee Lake, then Coffee Lake Refresh. Or another way that AMD has done it, which makes things simpler, you have their Zen architecture, and then you have Ryzen and Ryzen 2. So this is the way Intel are basically going with their design. Sunny Cove is going to be giving Intel a whole new market to move into, a whole new way of doing things with their CPUs, and we're going to be expecting to see these 10nm chips in early 2019. Following on from Sunny Cove, we're going to then see Willow Cove, which is going to be a more incremental update, again a couple more tweaks and slightly more polished by 2019, or 2020 sorry should I say. And then in 2021 we're going to be basically seeing Golden Cove, which again is going to be a more refined, tweaked, more rounded and polished version of Willow Cove in 2021. So their roadmap is actually going to be looking pretty good. Also along with this, just a quick note with the Atom lineup, are going to be following the same steps. We're going to be seeing, I believe it is Tremont. And then from Tremont in 2019, we're going to be seeing Gracemont in 2021. And then after 2021, we're going to see next month, which is obviously anybody's guess, but we'll be seeing that. Apart from the naming aside, we're also going to be seeing an increase with the IPC, or the instructions per cycle. And if you don't know what that is, that means basically every hertz that the CPU ticks, that determines how much information it can process. And after all this time, it sounds like Intel are finally starting to listen to their consumers and take note of the competition. And this is basically going to be hopefully giving 2019 that competition, because AMD have come out with Zen and obviously all the Ryzen CPUs and Threadripper and started to take away that market share from Intel. And we all thought that 2019 is going to be AMD's year. However, with Intel now announcing this, it's going to be basically a cluster next year. So 2019 is going to see some real movement from both red and blue team, which is what we need. We needed competition. I think Intel got a bit laid back, saying we know we're the best, we're on top, and that's where we're going to stay. And then suddenly AMD have come along, and they started to take that away from Intel, and Intel have kind of gone, oh, hang on a minute, we need to bounce back. So it's good for everybody out there. You know, will we ever see a third CPU company? Well, we just don't know. And obviously this also goes for, you know, the graphics cards. You've got Nvidia and you've got AMD. Intel moving into that as well, which we will move on to as well at a later point. And also their iGPUs. So moving on over to Intel's iGPU, and basically Gen 11 graphics will be Intel's first teraflop capable mobile GPU. This is basically great for all of us out there. It's going to come with 1 teraflop, which is higher than a GT 1030, which only had scores of around about 0.94 teraflops. Sorry, so a vast improvement. With this new graphics architecture being there, the performance clock compared to the 9th gen graphics is capable of basically, I think they run Tekken, showing it running at 30 FPS, which is brilliant. It's going to double the performance of photo recognition applications compared to the 9th gen graphics. And basically Gen 11 is also expected to feature an advanced media encoder and decoder, both supporting 4K video streams and 8K content creation in constrained power envelopes, which is really big. It also features adaptive sync technology, enabling the smoother frame rates for gaming, and is also going to be reaffirmed its plan to introduce a discrete graphics card in around 2020, which is going to be absolutely amazing. So what does this also say? Well, you're now going to be able to play most of your popular games at low to medium settings at 1080p, and this is phenomenal over the last generation. And it's also a big improvement to, like I said, the adaptive sync technology, which makes Intel's second major player to support the tech. If you look at Nvidia, it is now the only player that pushes their own proprietary G-Sync technology, and it at a massive increase to basically the cost to the consumers. So this basically means you can either have a adaptive sync or a FreeSync monitor or a G-Sync monitor, and your Gen 11 iGPU is going to be able to play it across all boards, which is brilliant. It's going to be called Ice Lake. It's going to be on Intel's 10 nanometer process, and it's also going to combine the Sunny Cove CPU cores within it, which is brilliant, absolutely amazing. And if we look, the efficiency and the performance, the advanced 3D and media display capabilities, and the better gaming experiences I've just all gone through. And yeah, this chip is looking really good. 1+ teraflop, tile-based rendering, memory subsystem, and coarse pixel shading, again all integrated within it. It's looking pretty good, to be fair, for Intel. 2 pixel slash clock pipeline, high precision slash range data paths, and flexible timing and transports as well. So yeah, it's going pretty well, and this is sort of how it would kind of look. So at the moment we're on Gen 9, we're going to be having Gen 11, and then most of all you will see XE, which is going to be Intel's discrete GPUs, and this is going to be aimed towards data center and artificial intelligence. It's going to be aimed towards the enthusiasts. They're going to have a mid-range version, and they're also going to have an integrated slash entry level if you don't know much or you just want a basic gaming system. They're aiming it at everybody, like Nvidia are and like AMD are as well. So this is going to be major in 2019, 2020, or late 2019, early 2020. We're going to have a third graphics card designer in the running to give red and green team this time a massive run for their money. So yeah, the way I'm looking at things is Intel really coming back. You know, don't get me wrong, I like AMD. I've always liked Intel. Intel over the last sort of year or two have been sort of slipping, and now they're coming back with a punch. Just like AMD did, Stars and Bulldozer, it wasn't absolutely amazing, but they came back with Zen, and pretty much everybody's loved it. And hopefully Intel are going to be able to create the same sort of hype, and it'd be good to see them bring us something new. So I hope you all like this video. Please do subscribe to the channel. Please do give me a thumbs up. Please do click that bell icon for more notifications from myself. And I shall see you all in the next video.